like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes, I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Run it. Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and read it, you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk how you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition, they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk how you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, Oh my God, it's going to zero. Mommy, hold me. Oh my God, I'm so scared, guys. Is Bitcoin going to zero? I'm just kidding. I'm not scared at all. Well, not totally scared. But is Bitcoin going to zero, guys? Obviously, we are getting a move to the downside. We just broke that key level of $60,000. We're toying around with that key level we've been looking at on the live stream, as well as the market updates recently, being that 786 Fibonacci retracement level, which was sitting at very close to about 60K, sitting at around 59.7-ish. We lost the level. Can we reclaim it? Are we going lower? Is 51 to 52K incoming, or are we going to get a strong bounce from where we are now? We're going to be covering it all in tonight's live stream, so smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto, or if we hit 550 likes, maybe we'll give away a few Frankie Candles hats. Maybe this one with the fire little speckled white and black mesh back. But shout out to you guys. Smash up that like button. And let's go ahead and shout out the Candle Mafia real quick. You guys have me cracking up in the chat. Shout out to Golden said, I almost dropped to 50. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, I almost dropped to 50 and then remembered you haven't gotten a new chair yet. Tisk, tisk. Shout out to Golden. You guys know Golden is rooting for the new chair. And if you don't know why you need a new chair, you'll probably find out in a few minutes. Shout out to Golden for gifting 1 Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. We really got to get a new chair in here. Shout out to Golden. I appreciate you, bro. And Wick589, thank you for the super chat. He said, stay frosty, Will Robinson. This ain't the end. Crypto a wild ride. Gotta weather the bend. Diamond hands prevail. Through the dip and the crash. This ain't financial advice, but a robot's gotta smash. Shout out to Wick589. Thank you for that super chat, bro. And smash that like button. Wick589 said it, not me. But guys, obviously, we are getting that move to the downside. So I want to cover the price action with you guys, give you a little bit of peace of mind, let you know the levels down below and what we could potentially expect here, and give you my general thoughts on where I think we're going next. So buckle up. It's going to be a good one. And with all that being said, shout out to Fitness First Mindset. Said, hey, yo, what's poppin'? Shout out to Fitness First, not Bitcoin, or actually maybe Bitcoin is popping. Maybe the bubble is popping. Shout out to Fitness First. I'm just kidding, guys. Martina, long time no see. She was in the what is going on. He said, this is messed up. BTC is clapping my cheeks today. Shout out to the clapper. Thank you for being here, bro. And shout out to you. We got Brewski in the chat. K Diggity looking for that goat. Shout out to K Diggity. We got Zach in the chat. What is going on? Shout out to our mods, guys. Don't forget, show some love to Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, Chemistry Bro, D Petty Crypto, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. And without further ado, let's see how low this thing can go. And let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. And yikes. Bitcoin got that little move to the downside. Now, as you guys know, let me go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff here. Let me just take rid of this. Let me clean up the chart just a little bit. I could repull this. I'll keep those daily levels on there. But here we are, guys. As we are getting that move back to the downside, as you guys know, this is not too much of a surprise based off many things that we've been looking at on the charts here for the past week or so, or even the past couple of weeks. Now, obviously, we have gotten the rejection from the value area high, which made us anticipate that POC and value area low to come in, which we wound up seeing. And now we are losing that range and getting the quick move down. As you guys are aware, over the past few weeks or couple weeks, you guys know that we have been looking at that very key level being this 786 Fibonacci retracement level, which is the level that we are sitting on right now. And this has been that line in the sand that I have been talking about, that if we do come down here and we are unable to get support on that 786, this could potentially give us a little bit more of a bias to look for lower prices to come, and potentially targeting that much lower price target sitting between 51 and 52K. Now, are we going to see this come in, guys? It's very hard to kind of call that at this moment, but this is obviously that next major key level of support down below. It's more specifically sitting between about $52,468 and $51,064. And shout out to Tony D, guys. By the way, Tony D is at the doctor right now, so he's not going to be able to join us. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I don't think he's going to be joining us. But shout out to Tony D. Wish him well in the chat. He's at the doctor, but he'll be back very, very soon. Shout out to Tony D. We love you, bro. But The question is this level going to coming in between 52,468 and 51,65? Very hard to call here. Now, as you guys know, not only have we been looking for a move to the downside since up here at the value area high, based off the laws of the volume profile, you guys know it's pretty simple. As you deviate above that high, you look for shorts, looking to get back into the range, visit that POC, and then once you visit that POC, you look to go down to the value area low. And not only that was making us look for the move down to the value area low, but the reason that I was potentially looking for a bigger drop, potentially down to the 786, had a lot to do with not only market structure, but also money flow on market cipher B. As you guys know, that money flow has crossed over into the red here. And remember, guys, money flow indicates the longer term trend. Not only did we have the money flow crossing over on the daily, but I want to take a look at the money flow on these higher time frames as well, because as you know, the daily money flow has kind of been very choppy. So I wasn't really taking this into account too much, assuming that we may be able to see a little bit more of a fake out here. But if we come on up to the 2-day, you guys can see money flow was generally coming to the downside here, which could indicate a potential further breakdown and still can potentially indicate that. 3-day money flow is also crossing down towards that zero line, looking to potentially cross into the red. Now, the money flow is coming out on Ethereum as well. I will cover the Ethereum chart here. As you guys know, I am short from up here at about $3,800 on ETH, and there was a few very specific reasons why I was looking for a move below this POC to get a move, you guessed it, right to that value area low. This trade has now technically hit the final take profit. I am still holding a portion of the trade. I will show it in just a second. I'm actually still holding everything that I was previously holding. I have profits locked in, but we will cover this in just a second. But I do just kind of want to talk about this because, guys, Bitcoin is at a very, very critical level. We've been looking at this for quite some time, saying if we get down here, that's going to be kind of the moment of truth. And here we are, right? And I just want everyone to realize money flow coming out on the higher time frames, as well as the bearish market structure. We could kind of view this if we take a look at Lux Algo here. The Lux Algo price actions concept does label the price action the price market structure here pretty nicely. We have the bearish change of character, and at this point, guys, once we saw that bearish change of character, we know, and actually what I like to do here is turn on the colored candles. Once you have that bearish change of character, it is going to be a little bit more statistically probable, or you're going to have a better time looking for shorts on the higher lows, or I'm sorry, the lower highs, instead of looking for moonshot long positions. And this, along with money flow coming out on the higher time frames, was kind of what was making us indicate or expect some lower prices to come in here. And you can see once you get that bearish change of character, you get a lackluster push to the upside, another lower low, a lackluster push to the upside, another lower low, lackluster push, lower low, lackluster push, and then much lower low. And this, hopefully, after you guys have seen this kind of play out time and time again, through seeing that change of character, you could see that indeed we were better off looking at those shorts, looking for those shorts at these higher lows for lower prices to come, right? And, again, an easy way to do this is with the change of characters as well as the market cipher money flow. So, hopefully you guys can kind of understand why we were anticipating these lower prices. And what was it? On Friday, we were also looking at something more on the liquidation heat maps. Let me go ahead and pull that up really quickly. We were looking at something down here below our most recent lows, sitting at about 56.5. We do have a nice big chunk of liquidity down here, and if you guys saw my market update that I dropped earlier, you will know that we looked at these liquidation levels, and just understand that this could potentially act as a magnet for price, especially if we do not hold. Let me see if I can pull up a clean chart here. If we do not hold its Fibonacci retracement level, we could easily, come on, TradingView, you can do it. Let's go. Come on. There we go. If we do wind up not holding this 786 retracement that we're at, we could potentially wind up going for that liquidity, which again is sitting below this wick low. And more specifically, this is sitting between about 56.6 and about $55,000. So you do have a pretty big chunk of liquidity down there. Let's bring it to 56. I'm actually going to pull it to this wick right here, this the bottom wick right there, all the way down to about $55,000. And this is going to be a big pocket of liquidity. And remember, this does act like a magnet on price. So once again, if we lose this 786, we could easily see a push into this liquidity. And if we start stopping out and liquidating the longs that are low below this wick, or on this wick, and have their stop losses below, we could wind up seeing a pretty aggressive panic wick to the downside. And that may start our journey down to our next major key level between 51 and 52K, where not only, I'm going to show this in a different context to hopefully put put some people's minds at ease. But we have a monthly naked point of control sitting here at about 51,691, as well as this macro golden pocket, which I will show the context of that in just a minute, because I know a lot of people are thinking, Frankie, what is your long... yo, shout out to Dave Digital. What is going on, bro? Like number 81 is Dave Digital's. Shout out to Dave Digital. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. 550 likes. I will give away 5 Frankie Candles hats on this week's giveaways. Shout out to Dave Digital said, you got me laughing, bro. I'm not going to repeat the chat, but he's just very mad at crypto right now. Let's see. So if we do wind up getting that move down here to about $57,000, you may wind up seeing the trigger of those liquidations causing a panic wick to the downside, which you could imagine if everybody is super scared of this move down. You can imagine if we come down here, especially with the aggression that we see with those big liquidation wicks that happen very aggressively, very fast, this would be extremely scary for a lot of people. But I want the Mafia to be aware that if we do wind up seeing that, we could just be going for this monthly naked point of control golden pocket / naked volume profile that we have sitting from this little cluster of price action back here in February. So with that being said, these are the local levels that I'm looking at, and I do want to cover 2 key levels, not only of support, but also resistance before we wind up zooming out and taking more of a look, zoomed out view of the overall market context right now. Is the bull market over? Are we going to zero? What the heck is going on? We're going to cover that in just a minute. But first off, I want to cover this local price action super quick. So let me go ahead. I'm actually going to stay on the daily here, and we're going to come on over to the live stream chart, and I'm actually going to hide some of these well, actually, I'll leave these up, right? So we wound up slipping this 786, and we actually did come down and tap this daily level, which is what we are bouncing off of right now. So could we reclaim this? I would say a daily candle closure above this 786 would be a significantly decent sign. I wouldn't say, shout out to Dave Digital. We will, are you talking about this POC and this value area high potentially? If that's what you're talking about, I'm about to touch on that right now. But I would say a daily candle closure above the 786 at $59,765 would be somewhat of a decent sign, but I wouldn't necessarily be bullish in my opinion, because at this point, guys, let me hide this golden pocket really quick. At this point, if we do wind up getting a bounce to the upside, we actually do have quite a bit of work to do now to flip back to expect a bigger move up, right? At this point, with money flow headed in the direction that it's going right now, as well as the bearish market structure locally, as well as some of the key levels we're losing right now, I am going to be favoring shorts over longs for the time being, right? Because if we do get a bounce to the upside, as we've been saying throughout all this price action with money flow coming out, you have to anticipate the bounces to the upside to be lackluster, to put in lower highs and continue to the downside. And because money flow is not coming back up aggressively right now, and because the market structure is still bearish locally, we have to anticipate something similar to happen going forward, right? So if we do bounce off this 786, a very key level of resistance that we have is sitting right here on the value area low, golden pocket, and then you can even pull this up to the 786, but what I'm looking at here is the value area low, and between the value area low and the golden pocket here, which has beautiful confluence with a time point of control right on that golden pocket. So if we do get a bounce to the upside, guys, this is going to be absolutely critical resistance, right? So based off the market structure and the money flow right now, technically, I would be more interested in looking for shorts in this zone rather than looking for super gigalongs, right? Now, this doesn't mean that we can't get any longs down here to potentially get back above the value area low, flip it to support, go to the POC, and then back up to the value area high. But with the way money flow looks right now, we would have to anticipate, remember, money flow indicates the longer term trend, right? So, I do this all the time. 2-day money flow crossover into the green. This didn't indicate, right? We got a little dump to the downside here. We got a little dump here, little dump there, little dump here, big dump there. But this 2-day money flow indicated that the longer term trend was going to continue to the upside. So money flow indicates this entire move. And then the red and the green dots are what indicate these little ebbs and flows in the market, right? The ups, the downs, the ups, the downs. But when money flow crosses over, you're looking at that as an anticipation or a prediction on the overall trend. Now, if we're looking at money flow in the opposite direction here, and this crosses into the red, we have to anticipate that in the longer term, this could continue a bigger bearish trend, which is why this level of resistance is so important. So for me to kind of really feel safe taking longs back up to the range high, it would be a situation where I'd like to actually come into the volume profile and retest the value area instead in looking for shorts. If we don't get the short confirmations and we come up here and we flip this level to support, then we could potentially look for longs for higher, but we need to also see the money flow coming back to the upside and not continuing into the red, right? So if we cross over into the red, we could potentially wind up seeing something like this, which could wind up being very, very, very scary, especially because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it was just a bounce, it was just a bounce. But remember, when you break out of these volume profiles, guys, although this is your doorway to higher prices, meaning if you flip it, you could look for a full rotation of the range. But before you do that, right, you are going to be looking at these value area lows as key levels of resistance. So until we break above this purple box, which really gets us up to about, that time point of control is sitting at about 64,536 and the top of the golden pocket as well. Until we flip that level, guys, I would be looking for potential short positions, even if we push into that 786 potentially. This would all depend on what money flow looks like, right? Is the daily money flow coming back up? Is the 16-hour money flow coming back up? If so, if things don't look that bad and we don't have short confirmations, maybe I'll have a different look on that once we get up there, but we have to let the price action develop, hit those key levels, and actually see what price action's doing within it. So that's your key level of resistance. Very simply put, between 64.6 and about 63.3. We have to get above that level to look for higher prices, and very simply put, we're kind of just at our key level of support, right? We've been looking at this forever, and hopefully you guys see through watching the live streams, through seeing the market updates, anybody in the premium Discord, anytime you guys watch me, shout out to Greg, said, fix your internet, you're dropping out again. Oh my God, I don't understand what happened to my internet. My internet was, I never had a problem with this internet. I don't know why it's beefing so hard right now. But this is, you guys are funny, man. We are at that key level of support, right? So key resistance, key support, and to be quite honest, unless, remember with the liquidity grabs, what we like to look for, guys. If we know that there are a lot of longs from down here, where are their stop losses going to be? Very simply put, if I'm long from here, my stop loss is going to be somewhere below this low. And if we have millions of traders who were taking longs in this area, chances are there's a whole lot of, stop losses sitting down here, which is also known as liquidity in the market, which not only acts like a magnet for price, but also could potentially add a lot of sell pressure if we come in and stop and liquidate all these people out of the market. Now, if we come down to that level, and why is that, right? Well, simply put, when you get stopped out of a long position or liquidated out of a long position, it creates a market sell, adding added sell pressure to the market, which is why you get those big liquidation wicks, right? But here's the thing. If we get down there, technically we would be losing, right? We would definitely be losing that 786. But the last sign of hope, right? The last, I wouldn't even really consider this the last leg. We are on the last leg here. But if we did come down and we saw an aggressive liquidation event, an extremely fast reversal, and I'm talking about a wick that is looking, man, maybe my internet is beef right now. What is going on? If we wind up seeing a quick liquidation wick, like one of these big liquidation wicks, and you get a quick reversal, or even like this, and I was talking to the premium Discord about this, a lot of times you will see this in a continuation trend. You have a range, right? Everybody's long in the lows, right? All the stop losses are below, and then before the next leg up, you get a big liquidation wick. Stop it. Let me pull up a higher time frame so it's easier to see. Right, so you kind of wiggle sideways here, right? Everybody's got their longs in from the low of the range, and then you get this liquidation wick washing out all those longs, and then you get your next leg up. You get another area of consolidation, and then people are longing the bottom of this range consistently, and then boom, you liquidate all those longs, next leg up, right? We see this happen time and time again, and if we do wind up seeing something similar where we come and take these lows from, from April 30th, if we come take those lows, grab my brush tool, and we come down and we see a big liquidation and a big bounce up very quickly, and we see something like a swing failure pattern, which is very similar to what we saw down here. You could potentially see that as a bullish scenario for a bigger move to the upside, but it's very, very hard to tell. And if we don't get that to happen, if we don't wash out those liquidations and then get a fast buyback, we could be headed, very likely to that $51,000 to $52,000 level. Now, would that make me call for zero? Would that make me super bearish on Bitcoin? Not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily right now, right? And the reason for that is if I pull up a clean chart here, guys, let me pull up a naked chart, as they like to say. Take a sip of that black coffee. I got no Aztec and Cactus Moss water today. I had to drive Mrs. Candles to the airport because she's too fancy for an Uber, she said. And I was like, Bitcoin's dumping. And she's like, no, I need a ride to the airport. I'm too fancy to go in an Uber. And I was like, fine. I tried to get her a limo, but she was too fancy for a limo too. But she said the limo doesn't have the right amenities for her hands. But if we take a look here, guys, why would I not be super, super scared if we hit 52K? It's not that I would like to see this, but if you pull your local Fibonacci retracement from this low down here at about 38.5 all the way to the high here of the all-time high at 73,951, let me go ahead and change the setting here. You could see that our golden pocket retracement of this entire last big leg to the upside, I guess you can kind of consider these two different legs, but the Fibonacci retracement from this entire leg to the upside does sit perfectly confluent between 51 and 52K, almost perfectly, right? And then also remembering you have the monthly naked point of control there. You also have that naked value area from this price action here. So there is confluence to come down here and tap this level. And, a lot of people in the premium, someone was asking me, Frankie, if you break 51 to 52K, would you, like, what is, everybody right now is very scared of this drop to the downside. And this is at this point really just a, let's go ahead and let me turn off my magnet tool here. Essentially this most local move down is about 20%. Now, sometimes in a bull market, we can see dumps of about 30% at a time, right? There's multiple 30%, 20 to 30% pullbacks in most of the bull markets that we've been in. So, it wouldn't necessarily mean the end of the bull market for me. And one thing you have to realize is everybody's in a different situation. For me, my average entry price for Bitcoin is sitting at about $20,000 to $21,000. So for me, this is very not scary, right? Most of the people who are freaking out here have much higher average buy-in prices. So for me, like if we come down to 51, 52K, like this is still, right, 20 to 21K. I'll even just make it 21K this line just to make it a little bit more conservative. This is not that scary for me, right? Now, if I had bought in here, right, if I had bought in on this consolidation, this would be a little bit more alarming to me, right? But for me, like I'm still in a pretty good situation here, and we're going to take a look at the DXY in a second because there are some very interesting things that I've been looking at. But here's the thing, guys. This is still not that scary to me, but this does not mean that we cannot continue lower, right? For me, it's not scary to me because I'm looking at it in the context of my Bitcoin entry price being at $20,000 to $21,000, right? So for that, take that for what it's worth. But that $51,000 to $52,000 level is 100% going to be the next major level to the downside that I am looking at if we do break those lows again, and we do not get the liquidity grab below these lows, and we just wind up seeing the liquidation wick bring us lower. This is that next target price that I'm looking at. Now, and again, bring back up the other chart. Key level of resistance, 100% is going to be this box here that we just talked about. And in order to flip more bullish, we got to break these levels. And if we come down lower, this is the major level of support. And I'll be quite honest. We've talked about this time and time again on the live streams. Even below this 51 to 52K level, we have another pretty confluent level here. And in my opinion, somewhat of a more established level of support. We had a lot more value built within here. And we have the naked value area as well as the 786 of that same Fibonacci pull, right? That same Fib pull gives us a 786 sitting at about 4686, right? 4686 sitting right at this blue box, right? That's what this is drawn off of. The 786 is sitting right here. And then value area high, PLC value area low. And this is another very, very important level to be watching. So even if we lose 51 to 52K, could be on our way to into the 40,000s, which again, I am still at a pretty good area, right? But for a lot of people, if we came down to 41K, people would be like a lot of people would be in pretty bad shape. A lot of people who bought this leg up. But for the most part, guys, I'm not calling for these levels to come in, but they're definitely something that I'm watching, which is exactly why we've been taking a look at all of these levels down below, including that 786 Fibonacci level. The last few streams I've been looking at that. I've kind of felt crazy, right? Saying, hey, guys, if we lose the value area low and things get ugly, this is our last level of defense, and it's below 60K. And I kind of think to myself, like, man, are we really going to go down below 60K? But here we are once again, the charts playing out exactly as you think they would, and here we are sitting just above that 786. So homework for Bitcoin tonight is going to be holding that 786 on the daily and closing the daily candle above there. Doesn't bring us out of the water just yet, but it would be at least a decent closing to today, holding that 786 retracement level. And then even if we got that big move up, maybe we get the daily green dot to finally print, which I don't think is going to happen today. This VWAP has been below that zero line for 17 days. That is pretty crazy. But, eventually when we print that green dot, it doesn't really look good. I'll be honest, right? Like, we want to see that VWAP about to cross over. We're going to print this next daily candle in almost 2 hours, right? An hour and 48 minutes. So we need that VWAP to skirt back up to give us a green dot on the daily. But maybe when we get that daily green dot, that's where we get the retracement to the upside where, sure, it'll feel a little bit good, but we still are going to run into this brick wall, and we really need that level to be that's the real level that we need to break, right? And then we have the 2-day VWAP also getting rejected at the zero line. Money flow coming out, not the best look. I do anticipate still, we've been saying this for a while, it's not often that you see the VWAP remain below the zero line for this long, but if we do get that daily green dot, I think that's likely where the retracement will come in. And then at that point, we're watching all eyes on this level. And then if we get short confirmations here, I will be adding to my shorts. But if we don't, then maybe we could look to flip this. But we still need a lot of things to turn around. We have a lot of work to do, to be quite honest with you guys. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Let's close above this 786. Maybe that'll give us a little short-term relief. But we'll have to see what happens. This probably did scare a lot of people. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a bounce up here. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. He said, got a new chair? Get a new chair, please. The Bitcoin price cannot keep dipping like your chair. Shout out to Golden. I appreciate the super chat. I'm actually low-key saving up all the money here, Golden, to buy a new chair. I'm just kidding. I just can't find the time to go get a chair. It's kind of an excuse, but that's what I'm going with. Shout out to Golden. But that is what we're looking at here, guys. And we're going to take a look at Ethereum in a minute, but I do just want to shout out Creighton C. If you guys remember, I think it was last week, he sent a super chat that said he tracks all the market dumps and all of the signals that happen, the undercover signals that happen here on the show. And he talked about the last time I spilled Red Bull, the market dumped like a couple days later. Me and Tony ran out of gas in the Lamborghini. Market dumped a couple days later. I found a lost dog. The market dumped a couple days later. And he said something like, as long as Frankie doesn't find a lost dog, run out of gas, or spill any Red Bull in the next couple of days, we should be good and the market won't dump. And I'm not even kidding you guys. I found a lost dog on Saturday. This dog was on the side of the road. I pulled over, and we were like, oh, my God, this dog's running in the middle of the street. I opened the door, and he just jumped into my arms. He wound up staying at my house for a little while, and we eventually got it back to its owner a day later. But I found a lost dog, which doesn't happen often. It's the most random thing ever. And here we are with a massive red candle on Bitcoin. Obviously, that didn't really have anything to do with it, but it is super, 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 super interesting that Creighton C literally brought that up. And I found a lost dog again out of nowhere, and the market dumped. Absolutely hilarious. Probably had a little more to do with the money flow and the market structure and all the technical things we were looking at, but it is pretty interesting. Next time I see a lost dog, I'm just going to go ahead and drive by. I'm just kidding. I won't. I could never do that. I have to save the dogs, guys. Dogs are the best. I will never leave a dog on the side of the road. He was actually deaf, too. Cute little pup. I'll show a picture at the end of the stream, maybe. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and see here. Shout out to Greg, said it's all Frankie's fault. Frankie owes each of us 5 Bitcoin each. Shout out to Greg. That seems a little steep. But maybe we'll try to work on that. Shout out to Greg. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All your fault, Frankie. Shout out to Darren. Stay in your home when money flow is in the red. Yeah, next time money flows in the red, guys, no Red Bull, no driving, no dogs, just sitting at the desk, minding my own business. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. If you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And we will go ahead and take a look at them for you. Rob the Crypto Sample, count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. But first off, I want to take a look at Ethereum because I am currently in an Ethereum trade here. Money flow freshly crossing over into the red here. This was something we were looking at on Friday. We did indeed wind up getting that. Was that already crossed over on Friday? No, we were looking at it on Friday, and then it finally crossed over on the weekend. And here we are, right? As you guys know, I am short here from the top of this range. Very similar to the Bitcoin short that we put in the premium Discord from this SFP wick from the high. I missed my entry on Bitcoin, so I did find another entry here on Ethereum. And I took it, and I am still in the trade. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up for you guys. I showed it earlier today, but we are up now. Can you guys see that? Hang on, let me pull up OBS. Hang on one sec. Let me go ahead and move this stuff because you guys can't see the P&L. There we go. Up almost $2,000, 531%. And the reason I want to bring this up, shout out to Blowfin. If you guys want to sign up and you're looking for a place to trade, I know a lot of people are having trouble. You can check out Blowfin. Link in the description down below. But here's the thing. The reason I want to talk about this is because, as you guys know, as we've been looking at Ethereum here, you can't make it up. You really can't make it up. Short from above the range, right? Because this is where we look for our shorts. Deviate above that volume profile, guys. We're looking at this as an overvalued asset. This is where we look for our short confirmations. If you can find one, the goal here would be, hey, if I could get a short here and we break below the value area high and we get stuck inside, I would expect a move down to the POC. That's the most likely place for price to go once you're back in the range, to the POC. And then specifically recently, guys, we've been talking about the POC acting as a magnet. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a few different reasons I decided to hold this short. I know a lot of people are probably looking at the bounce on this POC being like, oh my God, we're back above the POC. Are we ever going to get to the value area low? Especially on this first bounce here, you're thinking like, oh man, I'm almost back at break even. Like, should I have just taken all my profit at the POC? But trust in the volume profile, because once again, you see it play out perfectly. You go to the POC, it gets really ugly and confusing. You're back below, you're back above, you're back below, you're back above, you're back below, you're back above. But eventually, you are anticipating the loss of this level to then see what? The value area low visited. And as you can see, the final TP on this trade has been hit. I am actually still have not taken extra profits down here just yet. I probably should. I wanted to just show it on the live stream here. Should I take profits live? Should I take some profits live here? We already got a bunch of profit locked in on this already. Blowfin, for whatever reason, doesn't show you your realized profit, which is interesting. But I have already taken profits on this once or twice. So this is only about I don't know what percentage of the trade, but this is only a portion of the trade. Should I take another take profit? Let me know in the chat. Drop a hashtag value if you want me to take profit, and put a hashtag inhaler if you have a Frankie Candles membership and you think I should just degen and hold this thing, which you guys know I probably will just take profits. But let me know what we should do here on the live stream. Maybe I'll take a little off the table. Let me know how much. I want to hear what you guys think. I'm just curious to see if you guys are learning or picking up or eating the sauce that I'm cooking. Let me know. Shout out to Crypto King, said the market maker is not stupid. I would go ahead and agree with that. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Hashtag value. Okay, that's take profit. Take it. Take profit. Hashtag. Wow, everybody wants to take profit. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Hashtag value for take profit. Inhaler for degen, because you guys know if we degen and this thing goes wild, someone's going to need to take their inhaler. Not me, because I'm not a nerd, but I definitely don't use an inhaler, guys. Trust me. There's no video footage of me ever using an inhaler, ever. Don't search the channel. Just trust me. Take my word for it. It's not on there. Stick to your plan. Shout out to Dave Digital. I'm going to go ahead and pin that, bro. Shout out to Dave. Getting pinned to the top of the chat. I love that. Stick to your plan. All right. So my plan would be to take my last profit and leave a moon bag for lower prices. TP 50%. So should I take about 1,000 off? Take profit. Wow. Shout out to you guys. I do not see a lot of inhalers in there. I love that. I love that. Shout out to you guys. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Just wondering. Why you didn't close at the value area low? Shout out to Keith. So the real reason I didn't close the value area low here is just because there's really no specific reason, right? I wasn't sitting at the desk. I didn't take the profit. And to be honest with you, I'm actually surprised that we're even getting the strong bounce that we are, which is funny, right? Let me talk about this for a second. 25%. Let's see. Take profits. Do you wear capris? Shout out to Jay Gilly. I don't wear capris, so I guess I can't take profit. No, the reason that I wasn't so aggressive on the final take profit here is because I've already taken profits, I believe, twice on this trade. Again, I don't know why Blowfin doesn't show it, but I've already taken profits, I believe, twice, if not at least once. I have at least $500 locked in. And my stop loss is at break even, right? So if I get stopped out, I'll stop out at break even. And so it's not really, it's a risk-free trade, right? So I'm not really like dying to get out of it, especially with the fresh money flow crossover on the daily. Let's remember that money flow crossovers oftentimes indicate the continuation of the trend in whatever direction, and see the money flow crossing over into the red here. It could mean that even if we get a bounce to the upside, which brings me to my next point, it could just give us a lackluster bounce into our next key level of resistance, which is now the point of control, sitting at about $3,500, only to put in another lower high and then continue down to lower prices. And just like we targeted that that 786 on Bitcoin, and we wound up seeing it happen, technically the next target for this, even if we get a bounce here, if that money flow continues into the red and that downtrend does continue, that 786 is going to be another target, sitting at about $3,000. So I am looking for a partial TP here. If I do take profit again, I will hold a moon bag in case we do break the 786 and potentially come lower. But technically, this was my next take profit. I just haven't taken it yet, based off many factors, money flow, etc. So shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said, okay, let me address the candle miracles. Red Bull spilled, we dumped. Lambo the Bull. Lambo breaks. Lambo breaks down, we dumped. That is true. Found lost bully or lost dog. We pumped. You were ATL King about a correction on onto 52K. Your sign started flashing. Not done. Shout out to Creighton C. It's like the the all-seeing eye of crypto. These events in my life do lead to dumps and pumps. I don't know what it is, but Creighton C is marking them down. And yeah, finding that dog on Saturday freaked me out. Okay, hashtag value. I see a lot of people saying hashtag value. All right, so let's say, what should we do? Put some numbers in the chat. How much should we take off? We're up about 2K. Let me know how much we should take out, and I'll just listen to the Mafia because you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, right? I'm a pretty conservative trader. I was gonna take profits either way, but I wanted to see what you guys thought. 15K. Shout out to Ardos. Hopefully, we don't get back down to 50K. That would be garbage. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. So key level on support at this point, and you guys can't make this up, right? Here we are. This is like one of the most textbook things ever. Break down below the value area, retest the value area high, can't get back above, straight to the POC. POC acts like a magnet. You eventually lose it, go to the value area low, and then this blue box on this golden pocket value area low confluence was the next area to look for potential longs or just look for a potential bounce, right? And where are we bouncing? Right from those key levels, right? But again, based off money flow freshly crossed over into the red on the daily. Your 2-day money flow is also crossed over into the red. This is very likely to indicate more downside, right? This would indicate a continuation of the downtrend. So if we do any bounces that we get to the upside for the time being would have to be looked at as a lackluster bounce into key resistance, which would be the POC, and then a continuation to the downside breaking structure, right? So that's kind of my bias right now. We are getting a 5 and 4 hour green dot here. So again, short-term relief, not impossible. 15-minute money flow about to cross over into the green as well. And as you guys know, when you get a 15-minute money flow crossover with a 4 time, oftentimes it does give you a significant move up. So maybe that's where we start to see the relief. But until we see the higher time frame money flow continuing or starting to curve back to the upside, we have to anticipate lackluster bounces for continuations down. That's just simply how the market moves. It's not going to be right 100% of the time. Eventually, you're going to have to change trends, but until we see the money flow come back up, we have to anticipate what we're use what we're seeing on the chart to give us our predictions, right? And then if we go ahead and pull some Fibonacci retracements here, you can see from this higher low or even this higher lower high, golden pocket is almost beautifully confluent with that POC as well. 786 sitting at about 3560. So this zone would be, right, if we are going to get a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high and continue to the downside, where's that lower high likely to come in? Very simply put, we'll give it away for free here. Simply put, between the 786 golden pocket, and then especially you have the confluence of the POC here, you have between 3560 and about 35. Between 3560 and 3490 is going to be that key zone to look for the lower high. And then eventually, if we don't get any confirmations, we flip that 786, probably going to be off up into the value area high, which would be your next technical key level. But money flow does not look very good here for a continuation up. But again, things can change. But just looking at what we have right now does not look super great. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. He's got our altcoin votes are in. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for your service, my friend. Let me go ahead and pin that. I'm sorry, Dave. We got to replace your pinned comment. But let's go ahead and pop that up. Let's see. Near going to break out on the Near BTC chart. Shout out to Teller. Maybe we could take a look at that for you in a minute. Yo. Let's see. Shout out to I Watched. Says, great show. Quickie. We hit value area low, then POC, then back to the value area low, then double bottom bounce. How likely are these scenarios in your opinion? Let's see. We hit value area low. I assume you're talking about I assume you're talking about Ethereum. Hit value area low, back to POC, then back to value area, then double bottom. Not impossible. And that's definitely a possibility. What I would like to see there, to be quite honest with you, if I could spit some value here for the educational part of the live stream, which you guys know I do like to spit sauce from time to time. If we did get that retracement to the upside, what would happen to our momentum wave here? Well, we would look for a curve up on the momentum wave, right? That's just naturally what would happen if we did get that move, right? Now, what does this set us up for, though? It does set us up for a potential, if we do get a move back to the downside, and it could be a double bottom, but if we did put in a technical lower low here, even if it's slight, if we were able to see something like this on the 4-hour, where we have a higher momentum wave, a higher low on the momentum wave with a lower low on price action, this would give us a nice bullish divergence. And then again, depending on what money flow looked like here, if we had money flow coming up as well, it could be a potentially nice long entry to look to see the trend reverse, right? But it's gonna depend on a lot of stuff, right? You need the bull div to present itself, which is not guaranteed. You also need to see what money flow winds up doing. So you have to let the price kind of work itself out and see what the price action looks like at that time, see what money flow looks like at that time. But definitely not something that's impossible. What I think would probably be a little bit more likely, in my opinion, is if you did come up and you put it, and you could put lower highs in. It doesn't have to come up to the golden pocket POC, right? You could potentially test some lower golden pockets, which may be this level here at 34.07. But the major one that I would look at is the POC, just because of the confluence we have here. But if we did wind up coming up, retesting the POC, I do think a break to the 786 would be really nice. This would be like a little bit of a cleaner setup in my opinion, but we'll have to see what happens. But like I said, I already have profits locked in on the ETH trade. Did we ever figure out how much I'm taking off of this thing? 50%, 50%, 1K. Okay, let's take 1K off the table. Bada boom. Let's see here. The reason I'm not doing this on screen, guys, is just because I don't know. I've heard YouTube doesn't like that. I'm not trying to mess with YouTube. Please don't ban me. I love you guys. I've never done anything wrong. Please. But let me go ahead and see here. Let's go ahead and take 50% out. Bada boom for $1,000. Great success. It's set up. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Just going to mark it out here for 50%. Boom. There we go. Took 1,000 off the table, baby. If we keep dumping, we keep profiting. But if we bounce and we keep going up, then we made a quick dollar. I wish it said my realized profit here. I don't know why it doesn't. So there we go. $6,000 left as the position size and only $233 in margin, which is pretty crazy, right? So if we go back up, we build this up to another $1,000 in profit. We'll be up $1,000 on about $233. Not too shabby. I think the original position size here, just so you guys know, I am now up. Okay, that was weird. I am now up, I would say, close to $2,000 realized, locked in. And actually, my stop loss is not hit here. Not on. I got to put that back on. But pretty far away from my entry. But so I'm now up probably like between $1,700 and $2,000 realized on this, $964 unrealized. And the original position size for this trade, guys, was $400 or maybe $450, right? So we're up almost, $2,000 realized, almost $3,000 if you include the unrealized, off of $400, right? You don't need a $50,000 to $100,000 trading account to make money trading, right? Now, does it help to have a lot of money or a big account to trade with? Yes, because you don't have to use as much leverage, which does decrease the risk a little bit. But this is proof. Like, we show this time and time again, and every time I use a small margin and we're able to make a significant amount of money, I like to point out that it's like we're able to be up a few $1,000s without sometimes we do have like $10,000, $12,000, $20,000 on the trade. But in these specific scenarios, these were little scalp positions with $400, small amount of money with higher leverage, just looking for scalp moves. But Once we take that profit and move our stop loss to entry, we could let that trade run, and this one just happened to run exactly where we thought it was going to, making us almost $3,000 off that initial $400 investment, right? And we don't use the leverage as a gambling outlet, right? This is very tightly managed risk. This is now a guaranteed winning trade. All I would have to do is put my stop loss to my entry, which I guess I could do right now if I really wanted to. I'll just do it for the sake of doing it. Let me see. Where's my entry? My entry was 38. What was my entry? It's 38. I think it was 3805. 3805. 06. 02. 03. Okay, so I'll lose 12 cents. I can't get it to exactly break even, but boom, right? So bada boom, bada bing. I actually do not love the way they have this set up. I wish I could just slam it to break even like I can. Okay, I'm not going to waste time trying to figure this out. I'll do this in a minute. But once that stop loss is at break even, it's a guaranteed winning trade, right? So it's literally why the leverage is not risky, right? And I think this is important, especially if you want to be out there and you want to try to extract money from the markets like we do. You have to understand leverage is not a way to just take your $1,000 and turn it into $100,000 and trade with a big account. That's not how that should work, right? When I use high leverage, for example, a $400 position, right? This Ethereum trade was I think originally a $20,000 position, but I only had $400 of my own money in there. It was either $4 or $450. This is a very small margin for me to use, right? When I don't typically use $400 for a trade. I usually use much higher capital with lower leverage. Usually I use like 10 to 15,000 or something with a little bit lower leverage. It really depends. But for these little scalps, that $400 on high leverage is not a big deal to me, right? Because first off, I'll get stopped out before I get liquidated, and even if I got liquidated on a $400 trade, like that $400 loss is very, very small in the grand scheme of my wins, right? So it's all about risk management. A lot of people will just tie leverage to high risk, which isn't wrong, but there is a way to do it where you're managing your risk, right? I will not lose this trade. It is impossible for me to lose this trade without making money, right? I might go against me, but I literally make money. And once you understand this, you start to realize how much more trading is about preserving your capital and risk management than it is about finding the perfect setup, right? Because even if this trade did not bounce off the PLC and stop me out, I would have made like $1,000, maybe $1,500. But hopefully that makes sense to you guys, but those are the next key levels. If we get another drop to the downside, this 786 is going to be absolutely key. If we get a bounce to the upside, key level of resistance is between this PLC golden pocket between 34.85, and I'll even include the 786 up to about 35.61. So there we go. Money flow, not looking that great. So let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Tony Roaz, says 15K and then a God candle to 85. I don't know. That would be crazy. Nothing is impossible in this market. It would be crazy. I hope that's not the case. That would be, oh God. I will say this. A lot of times the market will do what will wreck the most people. I'll be honest with you. I would probably wreck the most people. 15K would even get me nervous. But yeah, that would definitely obviously be a very bad situation. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Start taking a look at our altcoins here. Let's take a quick look at Solana. Or Solana, as your grandmother might call it. And here we are, right? Very simply put, we have our larger volume profile. We are now deviating below that volume profile. Fresh daily red dot. I don't love this, to be honest. If this daily red dot confirms in about an hour and 25 minutes, this would be looked at as much more bearish, in my opinion, and may actually get us stuck under the value area low, which is not what we want. In the event of that happening, I would be looking down towards this monthly naked point of control being in the next key level of support, sitting at about 109.39. And that is simply put, definitely going to be the next key level, because not only do you have the monthly naked point of control, but you also have this previous value area high pulled from back here in April of 2022. And this is going to be your confluent level, and I would actually even tighten this up. Value area high, monthly naked point of control. If we do get stuck underneath here and that daily red dot confirms and we get more downside, could wind up seeing this level. And then once you break below that value area low or value area high, this would be a very bad sign and very likely to bring us down to much lower prices, potentially sub $100. But we're still pretty far away from that. Let's see if this daily red dot confirms. Let's take a look at the 16-hour real quick. VWAP coming back up. Yeah, so if we get a big pump here, we could potentially make this red dot disappear on the daily, which would be very nice. I would root that is what you need to happen. You need that daily red dot to disappear. If not, you need something like a VWAP flop or a VWAP flip, right? We need that red dot here. If that confirms, we would need a very quick reversal on the VWAP to give us another immediate green dot to be bullish on this, right? But if that red dot confirms, that is just binarily bearish. 2-day VWAP coming to the upside as well. This doesn't look horrible. Money flow is obviously coming out, but if that VWAP can come up, we could get some short-term relief here. We have been kind of just, stair-stepping down pretty consistently. So that could be something to look at. Let's see. Shout out to Jay Bella, says BTC, please. If you scroll to the beginning of the stream, we started with Bitcoin, spent a ton of time on it. You'll get my full thoughts on it if you go to the beginning of the stream. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you when you get back to the live. Shout out to you. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to LOL, says the lower, the more bullish apparently, but I ain't selling regardless. Shout out to LOL. Yeah, I'm not selling. I'm never selling. Guys, Mrs. Candles is out. I could scream in the studio, and she won't know I'm screaming. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Says, at Tony D, Italy, if you steal his chair, burn it live on stream and give him a new chair. 1 week with Italian food, wine, water, and women. Think about it. Shout out to Golden. Always trying to yank Tony D out here. Golden, I'll tell you this. I've known Tony for many, many years. You know the way to his heart. I'll tell you that much. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And shout out to Tony D, who is currently in the doctor's office. I don't know if he chimed in chat at all, but he is in the doctor's office. He will be back very, very soon. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, we got to get back above this value. Very simply put, right, this key level of support has now flipped into resistance, right? Because you have your POC, your value area low. Once you break below that, this is now the key zone of support that you need to get back above. We are losing the 786, so a reclaim of the 786 would be step number one. But realistically, you got to get above. I'd like to see a push above that POC as well. Until then, I'd be very cautious here, right? 2-day VWAP coming up, looking for a potential green dot, but we could easily get rejected there, so I would be careful. 3-day money flow is now starting to cross over into the red. I don't want to say it, right? But this is just simply what we're seeing happen on the charts, right? This is just, I'm bringing the information, and typically when you get money flow crossovers on the red, especially on a daily time frame, there is a continuation of that trend. Crossover into the green. What happened after that? Boo! Big move to the upside. Crossover into the red. What happened? Well, you did get another move up, but it wound up being a continuation of a very large downtrend. Now, this 3-day, oh, yes! Shout out to Tony D. He said he just left the doctor. All is well. Shout out to Tony D. Let's go. Thank God, bro. I love you. And just ignore, Golden was playing, I don't know what he was saying with the chair and stuff. Just don't read that at all. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Tyler, delete Golden Super Chat. Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. But obviously, I wouldn't expect something this aggressive, right? This was obviously at the start of a massive bear market, which lined up with where we were in the cycle at the time. But right now, it's not necessarily the time of the cycle where we just typically see a big move down. Now, I want to be clear, guys. Just because we're not at the point in the cycle for a giant move down does not mean we can't get it, right? I'm not just leaning on that being like, we can't go lower. This never happens in a bull market, right? You can't trade like that. And it's like the chair knows that we're talking about it. But yeah, it's not that I'm just going to be holding stuff if we go lower. It doesn't mean that we can't see a big dump just because it's not the point in the cycle. We could totally see something different happen here. But anytime you try to assume something's different, typically those people wind up getting wrecked. So what do? I simply just react to what we see on the charts, right? And although we typically don't see at this point in the market a money flow crossover into the red, we're seeing it, right? And I'm just taking that at face value, right? If the only way that I would expect something different to happen, because it's all about statistical probability. The chart's not going to be right 100% of the time, but over time, you will notice that more often than not, it'll be right more often than it's not. And then over time, that's how you can remain profitable. You don't have to win every single trade. You just have to make sure that you're it's great to win more trades than you don't, but even if you lose more than you win, if you manage your risk correctly, you can still be profitable, especially with shorter-term trades, right? So with that being said, money flow would definitely be pointing in the bearish direction. If we do continue down, our zones remain the same. If you guys want to screenshot this chart for Solana, all these levels do remain valid to the downside if we see a big move down. If not, this is the key level we must get back above. Money flow is bearish. Daily red dot is bearish. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy. If you look at the lower time frames here, we are starting to get a little bit of a bounce. But even that, like, you have slight bullish divergences on the 4-hour. Money flow kind of coming up. How's our 15-minute looking? Money flow crossed over into the green. So, yeah, I mean, even if we get a move up, we still have a lot. You're just basically working up into this massive resistance zone. So I'm really kind of letting the dust settle for the most part here, guys, especially like even on Bitcoin. Just kind of letting the dust settle, waiting for clear confirmations. I haven't taken any fresh trades today. I'm just holding my shorts, sticking with my bias, and then if I have to change my mind or shift sentiments, we will do that as new information enters the market. So let's go ahead and move on to our next altcoin, which is going to be Render, or RNDR, or Runder, as some people like to say. Let's see. Is that the shout out to Tony D? Thank you for the super chat. Says, even if you think you're healthy, go see your doctor, everyone. Feeling very lucky right now. Shout out to Tony D. I don't even need to get scared. I just need to, I just heard it from you, and I'm like, I'm going to the doctor now. Shout out to Tony D. I love you, bro. I'm glad that everything is okay. Shout out to you. Clap it up for Tony in the chat, baby. Let's go. Bitcoin's dumping, but Tony's health is pumping, baby. Let's go. Let's see. What is the money flow indicator based on? I don't know if you're asking what the indicator is or what the actual calculation is for the money flow. I'm not 100% sure what went in on calculating it. But this is Market Cipher B's money flow. Not a clone, nothing like that. This is actual Market Cipher. If you guys want to sign up for Market Cipher, you could use my discount code MCFrank20 to save 20% if you guys are interested. Shout out to Big Daddy. Let's go. He says, I eat bears all the time. It's just sometimes there's a drought. Shout out to Big Daddy. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89, said, Tony's health is pumping, and that's all we asked for, baby. Shout out to Tony. And Wick's wife, Fine89. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. Yo, Crypto Crabman said, I love going to the doctor so much that 12% of my entire body is titanium. Crypto Crabman, that's kind of... I don't wish that on anybody, but, bro, you're kind of bionic. If that's true, you're like half bionic. That's kind of dope, dude. That's kind of cool. Shout out to you, bro. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Taking a look at Render. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's take a look. That's not our render chart. Let's take a look at the Bybit. Is that our render chart? Do we not have a running render chart? What happened to our chart here? Maxi? Shout out to Tony. By the way, Tony, Creighton C indeed did mention the lost dog after the market dumping. So, yeah, not stopping for any lost dogs anymore. I'm just kidding. I'll stop for every single one. But anyway, let's continue on. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly. I'll just start a fresh chart here on Render because I don't want to look for the running chart that we have. But the levels will all be the same. So let's take a look here. Render, holding up somewhat decent here. Icks. But I'll be honest, guys. A lot of these altcoins all look very similar. We really need things to start picking up here, right? Because if we see a full money flow wave into the red here on the 3-day, I mean, it just doesn't take long to backtest those money flow waves and realize that it does indicate much more downside, right? After we got this money flow crossover back in July of last year, we had already gotten a move of... Come on. There we go. We already got to move about 40% down only to have that money flow cross over and give us another 32% move to the downside. So we really do not want this money flow in the red. Like, we got to get things picked up here. And if we do, we could potentially see bigger moves to come in here. Maybe they've bottomed out. Maybe some of the alts have bottomed out, especially some of the ones that have taken real strong hits, such as Polkadot. Polkadot is all the way back down towards the bottom of its bear market value area. I mean, like, Atom, we took a look at Atom earlier today. Atom is literally near its bear market low. It's literally 11% from its bear market low. Less than 11% from its bear market bottom. So this is like, we really got to start getting stuff going here. And if we can, we could potentially start to see some excitement. But if we don't, like this, like we got to get the show on the road here. These money flow crossovers into the red are just, they need to skirt and do a 180 and just start ripping back to the upside, or things could potentially get ugly. Now, if we take a look here at the 3-day money flow crossover into the red, definitely more bearish. 4-hour money flow is coming out. These higher daily time frame VWAPs are coming back up, so could give us a little bit of relief. If you pull some levels here, I'll give you the key levels now. Pull that volume profile, slip in that value area low. This is, again, not typically where I get instantly bearish. You don't want to short into all this support here, but could be a continuation down here. So this is your value area low. Your key level of resistance at this point is going to be, pull that POC up to the value area high. Excuse me. Got to get back above this value area low, right? So if we do get a little relief, we got to get back above here, flip this to support in order to get a move back up. But let me go ahead and pull some of our Fibonacci levels. I'll just mark these out. I'm not going to narrate through all of this, but I will say this will be a key level of resistance as well as your value area low. Just in general, when you lose a value area low like that, oftentimes, obviously, this could be your doorway to higher prices. However, at first, it's going to be resistance. We see this play out time and time again. But that's going to be the key levels, at least locally. If we continue to the downside, let's go ahead and pull the fib from this last big leg up. Hitting that golden pocket. Where's that 786? We've kind of already tapped it, to be honest. We've come very close to that level. But I would say right here, 786 sitting at 552, going to be absolutely key. And then let me pull from this low. Bada boom. Yeah, so I would say, like, key levels of support definitely going to be, if you get a bigger move down, key levels of support, $6.02, $5.48, and then your 786 sitting right here at about 390, right? 389 almost. So these would be very, very key levels to the downside. However, this 618 is already tapped. So yeah, you really want to hold this golden pocket. I would say if you don't hold this golden pocket, probably going to be moving closer down to that 786, if I'm being quite honest with you. So let me pull out some quick naked points of control quick here. Bada boom. Pull up the weekly, just see if we have any confluence in any of these levels. You do not. Okay, let's pull up the monthly. And yeah, no levels here on the monthly either. So yeah, these are the levels that I would take for render. And yeah, just pray for that money flow. That higher time frame money flow still does look not great. 12-hour bull div here. So this, maybe not horrible, but yeah, the 4-hour. I really like to see these 4 hours money flow come up with bullish divergences, but you just don't have it here. I don't know. I'd be very cautious. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Crazy Waffles. Yo, hey, yo. He says, I prefer my POCs fully clothed. Shout out to you, brother. I go back and forth. I like clothed. I like naked. I go back and forth. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Jay Bella. Says Sailor is laughing about the poor that can't buy the top or the low. Shout out to Jay Bella. But let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Yeah, Crazy Waffle said, literally thought the last run up was the run. I mean, it could have been, honestly. I'll be honest with you. Waffles, I'll be honest, could have been, right? Nobody really knows. But yeah, at least we get a little front run looking at the charts. It's like, okay, charts are saying down. Maybe this isn't the run. That's why I don't know how people navigate this market without looking at the chart. Like, I don't understand how someone can do that. I would feel absolutely lost without the chart. Now, obviously, I lean super far in that direction, but, like, I look at the news too, right? Almost not. I'll be honest, guys. I am such a technical trader that, like, news almost means nothing to me. And not nothing, but you have to understand, right? Shout out to Anybody who was watching during the XRP fake news that they had, like I think the intern fat fingered the keyboard or something. It was like fake ETF news. I forget exactly what it was, but it was total manipulation. And, this is why I don't listen to news. It was some bullish news, right? The price started pumping, and all I saw was a liquidity grab, and it was a short. Right? So I'm seeing this big pump to the upside. Everyone's getting super bullish. Oh my God, there's bullish news, bullish news, bullish news. They're buying up. And then I took a short at the tippy top and it dumped, right? And it turns out the news was even fake, right? But I had my key level set and I knew there was liquidity there. So all I needed was the candle to move up and touch that level. I take the short. I didn't even know about the fake news until after I took the trade and I was up a bunch of money. Made like $1,000 in like 3 minutes. It's like maybe the highest dollar amount to time ratio that I've made, like literally almost $1,000 in less than 3 minutes. So, and that literally was based off fake news. So, in my opinion, right, I do pay attention to the news, obviously, but I'll be honest, like if I could, I'd rather lose access to the news than access to the charts any day of the week, because honestly, the charts are just going to show you the news, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on to our next altcoin, which is going to be Whiff, and that is not Frankie Whiff Inhaler. It's just Whiff, guys. It's just Whiff. Anyway, just a quick disclaimer, guys. If you ever see a meme coin that has to do with me or my name, Bing Bong Token, Frankie Whiff Inhaler, Frankie Whiff Goat. Frankie Whiff Goat, low-key a good idea. But that is not me, guys. I will likely never make a meme coin, and if I did, I would tell you anything with my name or anything, anyone can make a meme coin, right? So just be aware. Anything using my name is a scam, right? Unless it comes directly from me on this live stream. Not a recorded deep fake video of me, a real video of me looking at the camera, talking to the chat. But it likely will never happen, just so you know. It's a very sticky situation to make meme coins. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. Golden Pocket 786 retracement. See if we can get any confluence. Do have nice confluence here on that Golden Pocket value area low. Bada boom, bada bing. And there we go. 786, Golden Pocket. This is your key level of resistance. Honestly, guys, just structurally looking at everything, anything that's broken down out of a value area, the value area low with the most recent fib pull is going to be your key level of resistance. So based off money flow, I'll be honest, Whiff doesn't look as bad as Bitcoin. How funny is that? But yeah, VWAP's cocked to the upside here, potentially looking for green dots. If we do get short-term release, could look for price to potentially come up here between 218 and about 238. This would be the key level to be looking for shorts at, in my personal opinion. That is what I'd be looking at. But if this 2-day money flow crosses into the red and that daily money flow does not start curving back up, we could potentially look for a continuation down. But I want to be very clear and explicit about this. This does not look perfectly primed for, like on Bitcoin, the fresh money flow crossovers, even on Ethereum, the fresh money flow crossovers on the daily and the 2-day and the 3-day looking to cross over. This looks much more like it wants to put in a lower high and continue down than Whiff does. Now, remember, if Bitcoin and Ethereum decide to put in lower highs and dump, Whiff will likely follow, whether the chart says it or not. So keep that in mind. It's one of the reasons why I push new traders to kind of just focus on Bitcoin rather than trying to trade 15 different altcoins, because you might see a bullish setup over here, a bullish setup over here, but then Bitcoin dumps and those setups are absolutely trashed, right? So if you're out there learning how to trade, I recommend you stick to just Bitcoin, at least at first. Learn how Bitcoin moves before you open yourself up to the possibility of altcoins. They're also massively more volatile, which makes it a little bit harder for a new trader to kind of get their market legs. But let's see. Ondo was strong today. Shout out to Ondo. I did see that. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's continue on here. Bad Axe, what is going on, brother? Says if Martin Shkreli makes one buy a load. Shout out to shout out to Bad Axe. Let's go. Bad Axe, I still have a bunch of Discord DMs from you. I got to get back to you, brother. My Discord DMs are backed up, especially my requests. They get harder and harder to answer the more they flood. Ever use ETH or Render or any alts? I'm going to move you up there for a second, Bad Axe, just so I can see that full chat. Alts, Ever use ETH or Render or any alt market cipher B to try to predict BTC? Shout out to Bad Axe. Not generally. Like 100 out of 100 times almost, I'm using Bitcoin to predict the alts. However, to be honest, right? Like if you look at Bitcoin here, let me pull up a clean chart actually. This is obviously the main range there we go. This is obviously the main range that we've been looking at on Bitcoin. And you can see, right, price lost the value area low, got to the POC, and then lost the POC. We tested this POC and lost it. I'll just go to when we lost it on the 17th. On the 17th on Ethereum, though, I'll just come over to this ETH chart. Whoops. On the 17th on Ethereum here, yeah, we were not even below the POC yet. So at the same time that Bitcoin was losing its POC, Ethereum was like still bouncing above it. Even the next day, we bounced above it while Bitcoin was losing it, right? So even in that situation, Bitcoin was basically predicting what Ethereum was going to do. And that did also have another reason. That did have something to do with why I was also willing to hold this short on ETH all the way down to the value area low, right? It's like we have Bitcoin losing its POC. It's on its way to the value area low. Ethereum's likely to follow, amongst everything that we covered when we looked at ETH. But yeah, I would say almost 100 out of 100 times I'm using it in the opposite direction. But if you could find an altcoin that's been front-running Bitcoin consistently and you could find that repeatable pattern, then maybe it's something to go off of. I haven't found it yet, but shout out to Bad Axe. Great insight, bro. If you could, let me know, too. If you could find one, let me know. But shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Randy... he says Randy Hipper. Shout out to Randy. Says Randy Hipper loves your broken chair because she's getting all your memberships. Shout out to Golden. Yeah, I bet. Hey, Randy deserves it. We love Randy. She does a lot of great work over there. So, well, at least it's going to a good person. Shout out to Randy. I gotta go hop in her chat. She streams at like the most chaotic part of my day. I gotta get back in there though. Shout out to Randy. No problem, Bad Axe. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you and always happy to help. But let's go ahead and move on to H-Bar. Here we go. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Taking a look at H-Bar. All right. Dang, not holding this weekly or this weekly naked point of control. We haven't looked at H-Bar in quite some time. Let me see if we have a more established chart here. All right, well, we'll just start a new chart here. Let's pull up the monthly. Monthly red dot is printing. Yikes, that's not a great sign. Did we talk about the DXY? I'm going to pull up the DXY. I don't think we covered this. I covered it on the premium live stream, but I can't remember if I covered it on both streams or not. Man, I talk about charts maybe a little too much. Let me know, guys. Hit me with a yes or no. Did we talk about the DXY? If not, I want to show something very, very important. It's not going to be what you want to see or hear, but it's very important nonetheless. So let me know. Did we mention it or not? But take a look at H-Bar. Monthly red dot, definitely not the greatest sign here. VWAP below the zero line on the weekly. Nothing to really take back from here. There goes the loading screen on my internet. Let's see. 5-day green dot. Money flow kind of chopped up here. Yeah, you could see this money flow, man. In the red, back in the green. This is, hopefully everything does that on the higher time frames. If we could get everything to do that, then maybe we're just about to bottom out on everything and we're about to go into a massive, massive pump. But we absolutely need to see this money flow flip back on everything else, right? Like Bitcoin's 2-day. Like this needs to either not cross into the red or cross into the red and go right back to the upside. Ethereum, 2-day, needs to skirt right back to the upside. If it doesn't, things could get ugly. Like, we really need that. Like I was saying, things need to get going here. Like, we need to see Ethereum's money flow on the 2-day start to do what H-Bar is doing here. So 4-day, looking for the potential green dot somewhat soon here. 3-day money flow in the red, looking for the green dot. I wouldn't be shocked. Oh, God, 2-day gave you nothing. 2-day green dot gave you absolutely nothing. Daily red dot printing. Yeah, this is looking a little sus. Let's go ahead and pull some levels here. I'm going to pull up the VPVR, see where all that volume's chilling at. Go ahead and turn off that value area high, value area low POC. Bada boom. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Let's see. I got to get back to these super chats in a second. You guys are funny. But let's go ahead and this is a wonked out volume profile, right? Low respected or high respected, low respected, high respected, big loss, back in, big deviation, back to the low. Not the cleanest range, if I'm being honest. I don't think I would really, I'd rather not, probably wouldn't look at this like that. Maybe, let me see. What if we pull it all the way back here? Let's see. Yeah, did we mention the DXY? I don't know if we mentioned the DXY. Is the DXY at 106? Hope not. Shout out to Crypto Grandman. I'll take a look in a second. I don't think that I have. I don't think I looked at it, but we probably should because there's some interesting stuff. I'll wrap the live stream up with that. But on H bar here, let's pull up the naked points of controls real quick. Pull the monthlies. Just gonna mark these out super fast. Monthly naked point of control, monthly naked point of control, monthly naked point of control. Pull up the weeklies. Hopefully we can get some more local levels. Okay. Weekly MPOCs. Okay. So I'll take those. Let me actually just check the daily as well. Okay. I'll just take the weeklies. So for the most part, this is probably, fresh red dot on the daily. I'd be careful for some more downside, to be honest, just because that daily red dot could give us a little bit more of a move. We're at that 786 of this full pull. Let's pull from the absolute low here. No real saucy levels, in my opinion. I mean, very clearly, if you lose this 786, pull up that VPVR one more time. Pretty decent gap down below. Right? You have that macro value area low here of the VPVR. Once you lose this value area low, could look for a quick move through this low volume gap into your weekly naked point of control sitting at about 6 cents. Could H-bar be on the way to 6 cents? I think it is possible. You can see last time we slipped this level, slipped right through that low volume gap. And if we get back down here again, that weekly naked point of control may be able to come in quick because of that low volume gap. High volume nodes, right? High volume node, 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 right? These act as a magnet for price. You can see price clings to this high volume node, clings to the high volume node, right? And then clings to the high volume node. But the low volume nodes or the low volume gaps, typically price does not stick around very long, right? If I zoom out here, we could probably find some pretty decent examples of that if this would update. But yeah, like once that volume falls off, you see price starts to move very quickly. So I would be very careful. And honestly, for that reason of this low volume gap, I would call this 786 absolutely key, sitting at about 0.07437. Lose that, things could get ugly, just like the wick right here. So that's what I'd be looking at on H-bar. And real quick, guys, I want to take a quick look at the DXY because we are seeing something. We'll cover this on tomorrow's live stream. All I'm going to say is the DXY is doing something that we have not seen in the past. And let's just say if this continues the way it's continuing, it could be not so good for Bitcoin. But we'll cover that in more detail on tomorrow's stream. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and sticking around till the end of the stream. I appreciate you guys. Real quick, let me come back to these super chats. Shout out to Golden. Says, Randy Hipper loves your broken chair. Oh, we read that already. But hey, Tony D said, I'm going to take Golden up on that offer. Shout out to Tony D. Fine. You deserve it, Tony. Go ahead. Shout out to Tony D. And then Creighton says, Randy is moving. Thank you for the super chat. Says, Randy is moving down to Florida, bro. That's a drive for you or her. I feel like doing a beachfront collab. That would actually be pretty lit. I'd be down for that. A little me on the charts. Randy on the charts, too. Reading the news. That could be a saucy. Frank and Randy in the morning on the beach. Except I don't live in Florida, so like we'd probably do it once, and then I would just like phone in with a fake background once in a while. Shout out to Randy Hipper. But shout out to Creighton. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in all the way till the end of the live stream. Smash that like button on your way out, guys. Going for 550. I don't know if we'll ever hit it again, but we're going to keep trying until we do. I love each and every single one of you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully Bitcoin bounces. But either way, I'll be here holding your hands all the way through. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Oh, no. Come on, Stream Deck. This is awkward. Come on. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Little sneak peek of the DXY here, guys. Not that you guys can't look at this chart. I'm going to talk about the significance of this tomorrow, but I will just say, guys, weekly time frame on the DXY, as we zoom in here, you guys can see the DXY's money flow is actually in YOLO mode to the upside here, which is not the best sign here for Bitcoin because, as you guys know, typically on these weekly money flow crossovers into the red and the green, as you can see here, in 2020, we had the DXY dump down into the red 2021 as the DXY was bottoming. What was going on in 2021? Kind of feel like Bitcoin was in a bull run. And then once that money flow crossed over into the green, we started yeeting off into 2022 as the DXY was in a straight skyrocket to the upside. What was Bitcoin doing in 2022? I don't know. Kind of think it was maybe in a bear market. But anyway, I'll talk about the significance of that in tomorrow's live stream or maybe even a market update, guys. But with all that being said, either way, we'll be here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the